Hi friends, we're going to tackle here lesson 9.4 and we're going to practice our mental math facts so we can be quick and fast. 12 plus 18 plus 20. What combinations of 10 do you see? I see 8 plus 2 is 10 and 10 in the 12, there the 10's place, 10 and 10 is 20. Another 10 and 18 is 30. 2 10s in 20, that's 50. All right, let's look at this one. I see a 7 and a 3. There's a combination of 10. 10 and 10 and 17 is 20. 10 and 13 is 30. 10 and 10 is 40. Let's look at this one. I see a 6 and a 4. There's a 10. 10 and 10 and 16 is 20. 2 10s and 24, that's 40. 2 10s and 20, that is 60. Nice work, friends. Let's try this next one. I see 7 and 3. That's a combination of 10. I see a 1 and a 9. That's a combination of 10. Now let's look at the tens places, because right now in the ones places, I've got 20. In the tens places, there's a 10 and 13. That's 30. 2 10s and 27, that's 50. 2 10s and 21, that's 70. And a 10 and 19, that is 80. All right, let's try this next one. 12 and 18. I see a 2 and an 8. There's a combination of 10, and a 3 and a 7. There's a combination of 10. So again, in the tens, in the ones place, we already have 20. Now let's look in the tens place. There's a 10 in 12, so that is 30. A 10 and 18, there's 40. 2 10s and 23, that's 60. And another 10 and 17, that is 70. Here we go. 6 and a 4 is 10. 2 and an 8 is 10. So there's 20. 20 and 20 is 40. 2 10s and 24, that's 60. 3 10s and 32, that is 90. And a 10 and 18, that is 100. Good work, friends. Let's check it out here. I don't see any combinations of 10 that jump right out at me, so I'm just going to go in the ones place. I see a 1 and a 2 there, that's 3. And 3 and 3 is 6. 6 and 3 is 9. So we're at 9 already in the ones place. 9. 9 and 10 in 11, that's 19. 2 10s here, that would be 39. 2 more 10s, 59. 3 more 10s, 89. Great. How about this one? I see a 7 and a 1, an 8 and a 1. 7 and 1 is 8. 8 and 1 is 9. So 8 plus 9 is 17. So we're at 17. Now let's get our tens in the tens place. 17. A 10 here. That is 27. 37, 47. 67. 77. Yes. All right. Let's try this next one. Last one. Finish strong, friends. I see a 9 and a 6. That's 15. 2 more 17. 17 and 7 is 24. 24 and a 10 here. 34. 44. 74. 94. Great. Now, friends, we are going to go to Math Journal, page 228. 228 in your math journal. Here we are. This question says, divide this circle into 2 equal parts. All right, let's divide it in 2 equal parts. 1, 2, write the name for one part. Well, I think that could have another, a couple names here, couldn't it? Could we say 1 out of 2? Could we also call it half? Could we say 1 out of 2 equal parts? We could call them all of those things. They all mean the same thing, friends. Now this one says, write a name for all of the parts together. If it was all of it, all of that would be shaded, and we would call that 2 halves, or we could call it whole. That would work too. Or 2 out of 2. Let's try the next question, question 2. Divide the circle into 4 equal parts and write a name for one part. So 4 equal parts. If we're just going to talk about one of the parts, so I'll just shade in 1. What would one of the parts be called? We would call that 1 out of 4, 1/4. We could also call it 1/4. Write a name for all of the parts together. So that would mean we'd have to shade everything. So that would be, we could call that whole. What else could we call it? 4/4. We could also call it 4 out of 4. Lots of options, friends. Let's look at question 3. Which circle is divided into thirds, or 3 equal parts? Well, let's see. Circle A, they do look, those are 1, 2, 3 parts, and they do look the same size, don't they? Now, circle B, they have 1, 2, 3 parts as well, but it seems to me like they are not the same size. They are not equal. This middle section is much bigger than the top and the bottom section. So the question 3 says, which circle is divided into thirds or 3 equal parts? We're going to write A, because A does have 3 equal parts. How do we know? I'm going to pull in my text here, and I'm going to see if I can type that in. The 3 parts in circle A are all the same size. Circle B has 2 small parts and 1 larger part. And I'm going to see if I can bring that down a little bit. This next question says, for the circle divided into thirds, write a name for all the parts. Well, if we were to talk about all of the parts, we could shade that in here. There's 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. We could shade it all in. What could we call that? It was 3 parts. We could call that whole. We could also call that 3 out of 3. Either one works. Good listening, friends. Keep up the great work.